Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to say welcome to Hockey History with Bigfoot. Today, first of all, shout out to my Toronto Maple Leafs. They're starting to play good. A little late, but better late than never. Today we're going to talk about something that not a lot of people know about. Started right here in Nova Scotia back in 1895 and lasted for about 30 years. It's called the Colored Hockey League of the Maritimes, CHL. Well, CHL was founded in 1895 in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And it lasted until about 1930, but it faded out in the 20s and came back and forth and just went away about 1930. But we'll give you a little bit of information. It was created by black intellectuals and church leaders. The League united black communities and promoted social change, acting as a competitive, fast-paced alternative to white leagues, while pioneering modern hockey. So back then, it was very hard, and it was very unjust and very wrong what was going on in Nova Scotia and everywhere, and it's still happening. So this is just a little bit of history for people who don't know. So anyway, the key facts that I have right here was founded in 1895, as I said. It was heavily tied to the Black Baptist Church to attract young men to Sunday service. Later evolving into a hub of black community pride and resistance. Often recognized for introducing the slap shot, credit to player Eddie Martin, also butterfly style going down on the knees to save a goal, was Henry Braces Franklin. So these two things, you know, where they came from now. Nova Scotia, from the Black Hockey League. The CHL grew from 3 teams to a total of over 12 teams through its existence. Centered in Nova Scotia and PEI, the league featured hundreds of black players over its 30-year history. The first 3 teams were the Truro Victorians, the Halifax All-Stars, and the Africville Sea Sides. These games, they enjoyed high attendance levels. During its peak years, 1900 to 1905, championship matches for the All Black League attracted crowds 12 to 1,500 people. You got to remember, folks, this is 100 years ago. Over 100 years ago. That's a lot of people. Games were considered major social events that attracted diverse, mixed-race crowds, which was unusual at that time. So you had white people going to all-black hockey league games. That's amazing. That should still be this way today. It would be nice. These games often had larger crowds than the white league games. So the white league games only drew 200 to 300 people. So they aren't too happy. Games often featured halftime entertainment shows, including live bands and skating contests. So despite these high attendance figures, the league faced systematic racism, including challenges in securing ice time from white arena owners, which eventually led to its decline. So what they try to do is they charge more money in some cases for the black leagues, and in other cases they gave them undesirable ice times when, it wasn't good. So that's just a list of horrible things that have happened. I'm going to give you a list of the teams that were in Nova Scotia. There's quite a few of them. We had the Africville Seasides, also called the Africville Brown Bombers, the Amherst Royals, Dartmouth Jubilees, Halifax Diamonds, Halifax Eureka's, Halifax Stanleys, Halifax Wizards, Halifax All-Stars. We had the Hammonds Plains Mossbacks. I don't know where that name came from. We had the New Glasgow Speed Boys. We had the Truro Shakes. And we had Cherrybrook. And then we had the Halifax Hawks. And PEI had a team called the Charlottetown West End Rangers. Well, some of the best players in the All Black Hockey League, Harry Braces Franklin. He played for the Jubilees. Eddie Martin played for the Halifax Eureka. John Jack T-Mills, Halifax, Regis. Ed Smithers, Halifax, Regis. George Whalen, guess whose team he played for? Halifax, Regis. Are you getting the message here? Carl Stage, Halifax, Regis. Bill Smithers, Halifax, Regis. Eddie Morris, Halifax, Regis. So, I guess the next fact is going to be pretty obvious. The Halifax Regis won most of the championships, capturing at least 5 consecutive titles between 1896 and 1900, and continuing their dominance into the 1900s as the flagship team. So now we're getting to the sad part, the downfall of the CHL. Systematic racism, no ice time, and then World War I, community displacement, and the economic hardships just created the end of the CHL. It's hard to believe that the first black player wasn't allowed to play in the NHL until 1958, and that was Willie O'Ree. You know, you go from 1930 to the demise of the CHL, 1930, and then 1958 was when the first black player was allowed to play in the NHL. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. And now, we're going to talk about a few other things. We're going to talk about the first player to win a Stanley Cup. First black player. Everybody knows who that is. Grant Fuhr. Grant Fuhr played for the Edmonton Oilers. And he won 5 Stanley Cups. The first black player that was inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2003 was Grant Fuhr also. So, just doesn't make sense. Grant Fuhr won the first cup in 1984, got in the Hall of Fame in 2003, and won 5 Stanley Cups. So that's all I'm going to talk about with this right now, but if you want to get any history, you can Google it, CHL. You can find all kinds of different research on it. It's very, very educational and very interesting. It's called the Colored Hockey League of the Maritimes, or CHL. And it just shows that we've came far, but really not that far. You know? Really not that far. Today, I think 3 to 5% of the NHL have black players. That's absolutely ridiculous in Bigfoot's mind. There's a ton of great athletes out there. So let's get those numbers up. Let's make it more easy for everybody to play a great game of hockey. There's no need for it to cost $5,000 a year and more to register to play hockey. It's just absolutely crazy. We got to get the finance level down so everybody can afford it. Whites, blacks, native, everybody, Asian, all races should be able to play this great game. We're all created under one God, in Bigfoot's mind, and we're all equal. We got to stop this craziness. Bigfoot loves everybody, so I'm just going to end this with saying, my Leafs suck this year. I love them, but they're going to come back next year and they're going to win the Stanley Cup. I love you all. Have a great day.